yeah, Justice and the Atlanta Reign, both pretty even right now. 10-11 and 11-10.
Yep.
Atlanta Reign just with a single win over the Justice currently. Rose, I think coming from yesterday, where I think Mitch put it perfectly, Speedy needs to be like consistent throughout the entire series, because when he switched on, he's like super switched on, and he is going crazy with it. But can they topple this Decay and Assassin like DPS line? Because they've also been looking pretty clean, and we've seen how much Tracers can do. Yaki couldn't have done more in that last series. I mean, you can put your entire team on your back if needed.
You really can, and I think the biggest differentiating factor here too is that Assassin Sombra is one that could be very contentious for Atlanta Reign to deal with. You know, Assassin has been playing a lot of that hero, and he's going to be in the starting lineup for the Washington Justice for this match. And it's when you put that Sombra and that Tracer together, especially as good as Kalios has been getting at like the Diva, to be able to dive in with both of those heroes, it's a really well-oiled, succinct dive coming through from the Justice, and that Sombra might also make it more difficult for a Speedily Echo if that does come out, or even Hawk's Diva if we, you know, see that frontline battle.
Yeah, I do really like the Echo, but it can be fairly tough to run sometimes. I mean, I'm thinking back to the game yesterday, Rose, the Atlanta Reign, and just how unbelievable the Echo can be, and it like forces the other team to try and like counter it or like run your own kind of Echo. There were lots of like, there's the sick copy and then recall to stop the self-destruct going off. They picked up on that on the desk, but the Echo being something that just kind of rolls Diva if she doesn't have that matrix up to eat those sticky bombs. It can be quite kind of tough. Although Kalios probably going to run the horse. We are going to Oasis first, by the way. There's your starting lineup for the Atlanta Reign: Ultraviolet, Vigilante, Hawk, Speedy, and Venom. Venom had was on struggle streak though this weekend. His like I would love to see like first elim rate, because Venom is definitely up there for the Atlanta Reign. But then someone has to die first, right? So
yeah, but it's usually
take that with what you will.
But it's usually not your Tracer. That's the key difference there, is it's really usually not the Tracer, the self-sustainable hero that's typically the one to die first in this meta. You would look at Ultraviolet or Vigilante, or on the flip side of things for Washington Justice, Krillin or Opener as one of the first to go down, because you are looking at more dive-centric comps. So yeah, Venom might have to pick it up this series and not get too caught out by something like an Assassin Sombra.
All right, we're going to head into the game. Oasis, our first map. We are heading to some familiar ones a little bit later on too. Yeah, so the Venom Decay matchup should be pretty fun to watch. There you go, Oasis Icon Brother, Route 66 Coliseum Nepal if we need it. And Danny already said, look, if we go to Oasis, probably going to see that Orisa, or was it Mitch? Someone said it on the desk.
We might, absolutely.
We are going to University as our first map.
We could totally see it here then.
Oasis. So yeah, we could very well see it. We kind of picked up on the strengths and weaknesses of the Orisa in this map yesterday. There's so many walls you can kind of pin people to with the spear. But the point presence is not amazing for the Orisa. It doesn't have that like constant shield. But sometimes you don't really need that, especially if the other team's also playing something like a Diva. Or Zara.
We have, for Kalios, we've seen mostly Orisa and Diva be played for him, and then Hawk has been a little bit more flexible in terms of what he's decided to play. We've seen a lot of the Orisa and Diva as well, but we've also seen the Sigma on select maps like Circuit Royale. But it would be interesting to see the Zarya if this does stick, since we haven't seen a whole lot of Hawk Zarya this season. But when you know that you're going to be contending with someone like Assassin Sombra, then maybe you have the ability to go for like a quick bubble to save somebody in your backline if Ultraviolet and Vigilante can't fend for themselves, or Venom might need something to go dive in the backline too.
A little flank. Double, make that a double. As the Reign also do the same kind of thing. Spotted out Vigilante. Yeah, those energy javelins, quite deadly, especially if you're on that side of the map that the Reign's currently sitting on. You can get thrown off if you're not careful. Titake can get speedily already. High ground control for the Justice support line is going to be proving quite beneficial. Venom determined not to go down first or second here, as he does hit that recall, but Krillin was there to match him as the Justice end up finding the first cap, and being on the wrong side of the point, not so great. It looks like Hawks having to back up. Same with Kalios, to be fair.
Yeah, Kalios is going to have to give a little bit of space to this because you don't want a Zarya with energy running at your face or, yep, speedily with the Discord Orb either following up onto your back line.
Oh, Speedy just right-clicked, left-clicked, or right-clicked, went in there, got the reset, jumped straight back out again. Opener is in a little bit of trouble now. Speedy receives a nade, a long-range one, from his Ana to keep him alive. Opener dies. Sashin should be dead here, maybe. There's a lot of defense, but he's 1 HP. Oh, the deflect does a little bit of damage, but Vigilante finished him off with an orb.
So a big reset here for Justice, and in the chaos, Atlanta Reign are going to be able to get the capture, start building up that progress as well. And, you know, right now it's about Reign trying to get this Transcendence online to deal with Assassin's EMP. But even before that, can Decay get into the backline to deal a decisive blow to Reign? Not before the Nano gets used, though.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Especially as your tank and the rest of your DPS are kind of moved up already. You're just on your own little island with no raft to sail away on.
I mean, that was
That's Reign still holding the point.
Yeah.
Okay, Assassin just roundly dies.
I mean, super smart pace setting here from the Reign. They're going in and contesting the Justice before Justice are really able to get into a position to make this work. And like, look, you can see Venom kind of sniff out Assassin's translocator, I guess, onto the hacked health pack and then just dove after him. But Justice are back. This is last fight for them, though. They need to be able to flip it here, and you'd hope they'd be able to with 5 ults on the board.
Venom lining up that pulse. Looked like an easy one. Oh, Opener gifted him that kill, I think. It jumped right into it. And momentum can't be stopped when you're in the air, so rather unfortunate. Pulse one from Decay goes wide as Vigilante sends out a quick kick. There's the Terror Surge. Woo! Gets 1 kill, but results in Kalios' own death. As a grab, they still have a blade, and it's looking like almost a clean sweep here for the Atlanta Reign. Can Justice touch? Overtime is triggered, but Opener dead. Same with Krillin. Yeah, looking unlikely. A flattening by the Atlanta Reign there on round number 1.
Just felt like Justice didn't know how to contend with the Zarya. You know, Kalios looked really scared playing the Orisa, just kind of walking up to the point. And if you lose this first round of University, like if you lose the first fight and you're playing the Orisa, we've seen a lot of other teams, especially in the APAC region, just switch off of it right away. It's a lot more difficult. It's kind of like the Tales of Old, right, Jack? Like if you have the Orisa, you're trying to get back onto point with it. It doesn't work as well as if you're already holding point. I know there's no shield involved this time around, but I still feel like teams are playing it a very similar way. So Kalios just didn't quite know what to do there. We're not going to see the Orisa this time, and in fact, both tanks for both teams switching it up. Kalios on the Zarya, and Hawk now going to be on the D.Va.
Man, I do love the Echo on this point. As soon as you control the height, it's like the classic like Pharah Mercy on this point. It's like so hard to attack.
Yeah.
Echo can't stay in the... Well, you can stay in the air for quite a while, but not as much as the Pharah can. You can hug the skybox for pretty much eternity if you have good fuel management. But the spam of the little choke points are also rather devastating. Justice do have high ground, which is kind of nice. You can see Hawk trying to get up on top and push people off. He does end up getting naded, but kept alive by both Vigilante and Ultraviolet right now. As Decay is harassing the backline. 70% towards that pulse. The point has been unlocked, but Justice do jump onto it to make sure Reign don't get a free cap. Krillin in trouble. A perfectly timed recall there by Venom. Saw that sleep dart coming out. Almost hit him. He actually ends up getting hacked. Has a pulse bomb in his back pocket, and what seems like an infinite first fight is going to eventually result in kills as ults do come out. A nano boost onto Kalios, but look at the focus fire coming out from the Atlanta Reign, rather large as Speedly picks up that kill. And now is the slow dwindling members of the Justice eventually going down to the Reign as they get the cap.
I think a lot of the work that Vigilante put into that first fight is being felt. Not only is Vigilante gonna have Transcendence online for this next fight, but those Orbs of Discord have been so impactful for Reign to follow up on that damage. Kalios was like perma-discorded, and the focus as well. Even with Krillin's Nano, it just wasn't enough to keep him alive and keep him doing damage. But I mean, look at how long the fight went. Look at how many ults are gonna be online just for this like second fight.
Oh, no way. Fortunate Transcendence. Might make it worth it, though. Graviton Surge. That was a brave one. Straight in front of Hawk on top of his mech. Beam's going to finish off Opener, who is isolated. Graviton Surge did get Hawk, but they didn't find the kill at all. And yeah, kind of another flattening by the Rain. They have what they have to do. They have don't have Transcendence anymore, but they got Nano, Self-Destruct. This is looking rather rough for the Justice unless the CMP is meaty.
Yeah, well, at least, you know, they forced out the Transcendence from Vigilante already, so that's not there as a response, but it feels like Decay hasn't really been able to land a Pulse Bomb either into the backline, so I'm looking at that to really open things up too, on top of the EMP. But Justice have to get into a position to use both of these ults, and Rain aren't really letting that happen with the pace that they're setting.
EMP is available. Everybody's lined up. It's a 4-man. Ultraviolet in trouble. He's 1 HP. Decay's going to be able to clean him up quite easily. Nano went on to Vigilante to try and save him. But still, Atlanta Rain just committing more to this fight. Double Diva on the field as Speedy gets the copy. He takes care of Krillin and even a free self-destruct. Gets a cheeky remake kill? No. Almost went for the default dance there on top of Kalios' dead body. 85% for the Atlanta Rain. Justice. Where are they?
In
Where
spawn.
are they? Are they on the map?
Nope, they're in spawn, and then they're trying to come back right now with a speed boost from Opener. They don't have much to go off of this, though. Maybe a Nano onto Kalios, but oh my gosh. Like, how do you come back from this when you're not all there as 5 yet?
All right, they touched at least. They did get antied, and there's the Nano. The last savior for the Justice, unless Decay lands a big pulse bomb. He does get the stick onto Ultraviolet as Kalios is sent for a quick nap and manages to survive too somehow. He needs some help. He's got it. Krillin's there with a nade at his feet, but all the rest of those shots were eaten by Hawk's mech. I mean, Kalios, he's got hope and a prayer. Luckily, he's got backup. Justice do manage to claw their way back onto that point. They do find the flip, but it wasn't 99%.
Okay, Decay. Finally, we see a Pulse Bomb, and we see it be really effective as well. I mean, just being able to take out both of the sources of healing on the Rain single-handedly did allow Justice to get back into this one. And so when it mattered and when it counted, there you go. But Venom's going to Pulse Bomb up 2. But can't make it to help
A little overeager. A little overeager. Dies him with 3 people there. Had to recall that hack. Didn't want to get hacked and instantly killed, but died anyway. Rain, it feels like it's just a quick reset here, Rose. Nothing to see. Nothing to see.
I'd be just waiting. At this point, too, I don't think Rain are too fussed about what kind of ultimates Justice are going to have online either. Kalios with the remech potential, but that's kind of it. Assassins just trying to get this EMP online, but Rain have 3 ults going into this fight.
Yes, they do. Again, looking at the Traces, trying to find this big stick. A lot of focus on Opener right now as he's soaring through the skies. Pulse bomb for Kalios, force the seal. Oh, okay, Venom. Oh my god. Balls of steel on that lad. That was close. Almost got remake killed there. Would have been rather embarrassing. Atlanta Rain still control that point, 99%. They did find the flip in the mid-fight. A Transcendence not available, but it's not needed. That Nano Boost saving Vigilante's life from Decay's Pulse Bomb. 99% is Kalios jumps in onto the points, and that should just be it. Atlanta Rain, quick 2-0.
Super impressive stuff from the Rain as well. I think, you know, with the questions that loomed over Speedly's Echo and maybe Venom's Tracer, it feels like Rain have cleaned up what they needed to after that loss to San Francisco.
I think we just watched Overwatch. Not sure.
That sure was some Overwatch.
Something happened. I felt my eyes glazed over a little bit. That was, yeah. That felt really quick. Quicker than a normal 2-0.
Oh, come on. After the Glad's New York game? Just a little before this?
Maybe
yeah,
my brain is still scrambled.
Yes.
Yeah. My brain's pretty scrambled from that series. We'll see what Justice have got for our next map. We're going to Eichenwalde. Can Rain carry on the streak? We'll see. Hey yo, we are back. Justice in the Rain facing off. We did play Overwatch on Control, I think. That was, yeah, like I said, maybe I'm still a bit shaken from the Glads New York series, but it felt very quick. The Atlanta Rain not really giving Justice any time to move or make any plays. Like, yeah, it was definitely a map of Overwatch that was played, that was for sure. We did see Kalios pull out the Orisa a little bit there, Rose, but not too much success.
I think it was really tough given the circumstances that Kalios was playing the Orisa into. Was trying to attack on University, which doesn't really bode well. Just in general, I feel like that hero still struggles trying to get back into the action. But also when you're kind of just looking at needing setup time for the Sombra and not being able to get it, it does make overall, I feel like the pace of these fights feel faster because there's no setup time and Atlanta Rain is just kind of, you know, beating them to the punch.
All right, Akvaldo is our next map. Defense. I mean, Orisa's a little bit better on defense here, but
yeah.
But yeah, how many Terra Surge kills have we got so far in the season? It's got to be, I think we've seen, personally, we've seen two, just me and you. But I can't count any more that I can remember. We definitely casted 2 kills, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, the ultimate seems really powerful from the offset, and like, when I originally saw it played in the beta, I'm like, damn, this is quite strong, actually. But then, in reality, in pro play, obviously, everything's a little bit more organized, especially when you have Lucios and stuff. It's easier to kind of speed out the ultimate. It takes a while to kind of wind up. So, it feels like her kit in general is a little bit better than her ultimate, whereas, like, the rest of the heroes in the game, normally the ultimate is the biggest ability that they've got. Terra Surge doesn't really feel like that right now. Maybe they'll change it later down the line. Oh, nice
like,
little
it's like Batiste, though. Like, Immortality Field is just kind of like
sure, yeah.
Like a mini ult.
Yeah, that's very based from you, Necker. Very true. I mean, it honestly does feel like an ultimate, right? I think there was talk a long time ago of, like, you could switch, if you change Matrix, like, you could switch Matrix with, Amp Matrix with, like, the Immortality Field, and maybe that would be better. Like, that was at the time where, like, Lamp had a smaller cooldown and more HP, I believe.
Oh, that's true. It was so hard to take down. You were just like perma-invincible and you just wouldn't die. Unlike Atlanta Rain, they probably have to go back to spawn after this one, but they're forcing it out anyway.
Headshot. Uh-oh. Oh, Decay. He coach gun and bonked his little head on the wall.
Oh, they're forcing it out anyway.
Rather unfortunate. And Kalios is going to get body blocked. So it is steal the health back, which is rather annoying. But it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he can't go anywhere. Oh, he picks up the kill, maybe? No. Hawk's a couple of HP. The Atlanta Rain. After that kill and Decay, it's pretty easy for Speedy to navigate his way around the map. So, kind of a rough defense for the Justice there.
Yeah, it started out great. They got the pick onto Vigilante, and so I kind of expected that Justice would back up a little bit, allow that pick to come through, and then go for a second defense. Like, Atlanta might have wanted to back off from that. It's fine that Hawk dies here. He needs to get back into mech anyway. He didn't have it as soon as those castle doors were going to start to open. But, I mean, Rain, they're off to such a blistering pace where Ultraviolet has a nano, Venom's got a pulse bomb already. Kalios actually has Diva Bomb. I'm not, maybe inting into the back line was fine to get that online.
Yeah, you do be doing damage though, so that's one of the important things. Yeah, Speedy somehow dies to Decay of all people. Not something you usually see. Decay getting a Perma Matrix there, making sure he doesn't die to Venom. Venom's still just tagging Kalios, but if you're at a point now where you've got ults, especially support ults coming up, you've got to be careful. If you're the backline of the Justice, you can see Hawk just dashing forward. He does end up getting kicked away and has to retreat. Which did mean the Justice are using that EMP, didn't find too much. I mean, they got a few hack targets there, but the majority of the presence from the Justice was to help Krillin and Opener. Even Kalios gets deleted in the mech, even though it's nanos.
I mean, that just feels so bad too if you're the Justice, because Vigilante didn't even have Transcendence online to come in and save the team from the EMP, yet Atlanta played around it super nicely, just using the natural architecture of the map. Justice can come back into this and try to defend from the high ground, but Hawk is already up there body blocking them from having access to the card, so that card is continuing to make progress. How did they touch
Hawk.
speedily up there?
Okay, copy onto Tracer. How many pulse bombs you got for a Speedly? You've almost done one, but you're like 30 HP. Oh, he has dropped a Mega. Probably won't get another one now, I would imagine. Oh,
What the
long
stick?
range. He yeeted that one. She goes to the Olympics as a shot put player. All right, Transcendence Force. The Justice do have a hope. With that Transcendence, they should be able to push it back ult to points, but with Decay dying, not good. All right, Atlanta Reign still keeping their pedal to the metal. Yeah, Justice really haven't had a defense. They've been throwing in ults here and there, but it doesn't really feel like, Rose, there's been a full 5-on-5 fight at this point, which is not unusual, especially for the heroes they're running, like Tracer and Sombra are pretty, you know, solo heroes, but it doesn't really feel like there's been a big fight.
No, I totally get what you mean, because it's been maybe even like if there's a solo operator in the back line, there's still only like 3 people versus 4. Like someone's always dead. So it's always like a 4v5.
Oh, Nano. Can he get a reset? He doesn't even need one, to be fair, because he's right on the spawn doors anyway. There's the Nano onto Krillin. He gets evaporated by Hawk, and the spawn door hold continues for the Atlanta Reign. This is a very quick map, I will say. Might have to check with Noah, our stats guy, to see how quick this was in comparison to every other Icon Valda played this season. Because 3 minutes 38, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, they lost, how many seconds is that they lost? 22? That, oh no, 32? No, wait.
No, 22 is right.
Maths? 22 is right, okay, we're good.
Because you're expecting 4 minute.
Yeah,
I don't know.
22. 38 plus 22 is 60. No, I'm fine. I got it right the first time. Don't know why I doubt myself.
Okay, well, I am going to see if I can...
I'm gonna a little bit lost, like that defense happened.
Jeez. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't need to say much, you know, and sometimes that speaks volumes.
Yeah, sometimes the map just speaks for itself. Actions speak way louder than words sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hold on. I'm looking at least for... No, I guess I could look at just this season. I'm playing around with a fun thing that we have in the back end. And so maybe I get something fun. But I don't think I'm smart enough to figure it out in time for it to be pertinent anymore. So never mind. Let's switch sides and see what Washington can do on the attack now. A yeet and a prayer here for Ultraviolet's Bionade. Looks like it doesn't hit anybody. Where is Washington going?
Doing a little flank. A little flank.
That's kind of cute.
A flank on the first on Icon Vault. Yeah, classic. A classic. All right. Krillin just got diffed there. A little right-click action from Vigilante. I mean, you can't push this far out, to be fair. I mean, Venom has a nade on him, plus the orb. That's like infinite healing, pretty much. Couple little staggers. Oh, the Orisa Terror Surge, if anybody was curious on how many we've seen this season so far. Currently, the Overwatch system has counted 19 Terror Surges. Terror Surge kills. Oh, that's just a... Yeah, wow.
Oof.
Very nice solo kill.
Yeah, that hurts. We're going to see Washington attempt this again. I still think they need to figure out a way to deal with Speedily Zeko. I mean, that's how San Francisco found a lot of their success in their match versus the Reign, and Justice don't really seem like they've been able to do much against this at all. And in fact, like, it just doesn't feel like there's been focus fire. Like, Assassin can't get into a position to get a hack onto anybody. Even if he throws the translocator into the backline, that's been getting sniffed out by Venom more often than not. The pressure.
Yeah, I mean, at least they got a trade, I suppose, but it's only going to grant them a little bit of space. Ultimate's been online super early for the Atlanta Reigns, since the damage they've been doing is immense. Another backline for the Justice. No more once again. Yeah, that just keeps happening. Self-destruct remake for Hawk, as half the time bank has gone.
mean, that was just a nice aggressive play from the Rain too, where
Ooh,
Hawk had remake available, got the nano from Ultraviolet, is still managing to get away, does get hacked. Kalios eats a pulse. Okay.
All right, okay.
Justice finally cracked this open. Assassin can throw the EMP on top of this too if they need.
Let's go, Justice. Okay, what you got for us? Everybody's coming back from spawn now, so you've got to be careful. Speedly with the copy almost online as Kalios dies as he goes for the remake. Vigilante hitting him with a couple of orbs to the face. A Transcendence to get rid of that EMP damage as now Opener is alone on the sidelines. A copy onto the Arnett, trying to hit him with the diff. But that Transcendence from Krillin will be enough to keep Opener alive, at least for the time being. Pulse bomb for Decay might not even be needed at this point, as the kills are going the way of the Justice. Kalios back on the Doom, but Venom's still killing people. No recall though, and no hope. Justice do end up getting that first point.
Okay. Whew. Finally happened. The payload is on its way. It's definitely not as fast as what Atlanta were able to sink that payload into the third point with, but it's still progress. It's kind of a good thing that Decay didn't use the pulse bomb there. He went down without having the chance to use it, but now he gets a chance to kind of work through the outer castle, see if he can maybe sniff out Venom or hopefully Vigilante. That would be a great target here to just kind of delay the progress of getting that Transcendence back online for Assassin's EMP. Or Opener will kill him.
Not great. Ooh, what a stick from Decay. A little fade away on that one. All right, Speedy cleans him up, but killing Ultraviolet and Vigilante like that? All right, Justice. Time to take high ground, says Kalios. Oh, okay, well, baited. Someone needs to get the payload, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could send Assassin up there. Assassin's still up. Krillin and Opener are going to tussle up on the bridge too, but ultimately get bullied off.
Here comes the pressure. Pulse bomb, Venom. Yeah, that one didn't hit. Those melees will be pretty easy, though. Venom killing both the supports. Self-destruct thrown out by Hawk. Doesn't find too much, but still the payload got a fair distance. Quite sizable. 2 minutes to go for the Justice on their offense. This could be a big stagger. Oh, I think later. I mean, Kalios is... Oh, hello. Yeah. This could be quite large. He is near the edge of the map. No, just ends up going down. They're not going to waste any more time. They don't want a case where Krillin not opening gets a right-click or a nade or something. So, pretty smart to finish him off there.
Exactly. I mean, you see people starting to come up back out of spawn anyway, and you definitely don't want to leave yourself vulnerable, because I think that where that they demeched him too, that was a pretty unsafe space to try to continue to stall out the Pilot Diva. But Assassin, ooh, EMP time somewhere.
It is. I mean, everybody's on the high ground right now. That would be the perfect opportunity. Decay is going to push the payload just solo. Can enter the fight when he pleases, to be fair. He's a Tracer after all. EMP coming for Assassin. He's lining it up. Can he knock him down? No Transcendence from Vigilante. Couldn't hit that Q button quick enough. And Decay cleans him up. Now the Justice make their way through that castle to regain control of the high ground, knowing Ultraviolet is the only one up there that can sustain himself and the rest of the team.
Oh, they can capitalize on it again.
I mean, Venom is just... He's playing Matt Mr. X mode right now, biting people's ankles, just finishing people off.
Okay.
Hawk gets the self-destruct kill onto Krillin. Yeah, and Kalios' mech also dies to that self-destruct in that small room. 40 seconds to go. The Justice struggling to get that payload under that bridge.
I mean, this is the second time, though, that Assassin has hit an EMP and Atlanta Reign have just negated it from being able to convert into value. Despite Vigilante going down, the sustainability, okay. Forcing out the Transcendence here, too. Last fight,
Large
Jack.
and in charge from Speedly. Oh, no, no, no! I mean, they have copy. They don't have any more ults, but I don't think they're going to need him. The Atlanta Reign demolishing the Justice on the second point. They can't touch. Ah, the Justice. The Atlanta Reign take 2-0 in the series. Kind of a, still kind of a flattening. Just getting rolled out like thin crust pizza dough right now. They had a few bright spots. I think Assassin's EMPs were pretty good. He managed to catch Vigilante off a couple of times there, and Decay and Assassin have always been very good at kind of capitalizing on those EMPs, setting up the dives pretty well, but the Atlanta Reign just in a different kind of form. they feel super good. And Venom, you know, had a bit of a rough performance, dying a lot of the time first the other day, Rose, but it's really sharpened up in this series.
Yeah, he's been playing with a lot of confidence. Like, the cojones on this player sometimes to just rush at a diva, like trying to get back into mech, or even just another tracer. Like, he's taking these duels really handedly, and it's been making it very difficult for Justice to get into a position to capitalize on these things that they're used to.
Yeah, that's true. We saw some Giga Chat attitude from Opener in the interview yesterday. I need that back, Opener. Step up. You got the chin for it. It's all good. Right, the Justice. Can they come back? Atlanta Reign up 2 maps. We'll have to wait and see.
Had to kill Decay. The 1v1 on the card now. Drink boots him away, but it's going to be a big forward to keep Decay there. The man is still alive.
Look at this opener. And
look at that too. They got sent to the skies.
Kalios
stage here. Happiness is just a legendary Genji skin away. Grab Happy Genji, the Summer Showdown legendary skin for just 200 League tokens. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of Overwatch League history. It's on sale right now. Right now. Right now for 200 League tokens. Yeah, so go grab that one. You can even grab it in the break. You can just boot up Overwatch real fast, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time in a couple of days. Of course, Overwatch 2 is releasing. I'm gonna cry on stream. It's gonna be crazy. Washington Justice and the Atlanta Reign. I think Justice maybe a couple of tears in their eyes right now. That was a kind of a brutal first couple of maps. We'll see what they can do as we go to Route 66. There's Escorts, because the Reign right now looking like the Reign on top 4.
This match has just been so tough for the Justice to carry out their game plan. You know, Reign totally understand right now the setup that is required for Assassin to get into a position to get a hack, for Decay and Kalios to be able to follow up on that with the Tracer and the D.Va, and they're just not letting them do that. You know, Hawk is going in and bullying the front line, sometimes even 1v1ing Kalios. Maybe a little bit unfairly, because Hawk seems to always have an Orb of Harmony, and Kalios does not. But yeah, like, it's just been really, really difficult for Justice to do what they want to, and maybe it's going to require them switching up the composition. Just maybe not the Sombra and Tracer. Try something a little bit more unique here.
Let's wait and see. Well, so it'll be Atlanta Reign on the defense first. No Speedly Echo or anything, just going for the Sombra. It's kind of nice on this map with the health packs you can hack away. Always prefer that on
I mean, that makes it even more difficult, like if Justice want to go for the composition that they have been this entire series, too.
Yeah. It's harder for like Decay and Assassin to navigate around that, because you're like, well, I can't use that health back, can't use that health back, you know, because they're all hacked away, so it's kind of annoying in that front.
Exactly. So I do wonder how Washington are going to, if at all, kind of respond to that choice with their team composition or something. But the close hold here from Reign, usually you don't see this type of forward hold unless you feel confident with a rush composition that you can just kind of hold at the door, but no, they just want to play this aggressive. Reign just want to shut the cart down here, hold them on first. Oh, changes? They're going back to change.
Oh,
that's the response we want. Okay, Kalios, Zarya, Krillin, and Opener have switched it up too for Ana and Lucio.
So Opener and Krillin are going to be a little bit harder to kill now, especially with the Lucio booting people away. And now Kalios wants energy, and he wants it bad. Someone give him energy. He got no energy from that bubble. Feels very bad. I mean, shooting at a D.Va, where especially when she has the armor and just all the HP, yeah, it's kind of disappointing if you have zero energy. Krillin ends up going down. That's kind of almost spoke down to existence. Don't worry, they're less vulnerable to dives as Hawk kills them both.
Just gonna take a quick nap. He gets away from this very, very carefully. He's always gonna do that.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Ultraviolet, you saw him trying to push up there to try and help Hawk because he was naded. He was naded and he was hacked. But yeah, that pulse bomb went straight for Ultraviolet. And now the Atlanta Reign have to back up. This is what Justice needed. They needed Atlanta Reign to overextend a little bit. Hoisted by their own petard almost with the over-aggression.
No, that's a perfect bait and switch there from the Justice. I think that they're starting to utilize Atlanta's strengths against them, just with how on top of things Ultraviolet has been. Sometimes you want to bait Hawk into his position where you focus him down.
Hawk ended up getting sleep there, halfway through that nano, so now hasn't got anything left. Justice are continuing to push the payload, but they need to focus fire, just get a target down. Opener suffers from a Discord orb and a little slice of death with Hawk chasing it. The amount of pocket on Hawk is actually absurd. He got the nade, a couple of darts, plus that Harmony orb, and he is immortal right now. Hack into an EMP, and Venom says, yep, nope, not today. Even Nana wants a Kalios to try and force Hawk out of mech, but it's just, he's just unmovable. Dude's standing there when the whole team are looking at him, and he just doesn't go down, what, below 50% HP? Someone's got to kill him.
He's not even looking behind him either. Like, there's so much trust that Hawk has with his team, and the follow-up is just nasty.
Man, that EMP was a fat EMP with a TH. Jesus. That was the Justice kind of all huddling in that little room there, just again trying to focus Hawk.
Let's have a look at they're all in the gas station. They're all girls. No!
Easiest EMP alive.
Oh,
there you go.
Just like
that was
sit
nice.
up there in the doorway too. Yeah, that was super, super well timed there from Speedily. So it's great to see that he can perform on the Echo, but also on Sombra when the Echo just might not be as viable on an map that's as open as this. But grab time?
You ever just solo grab a Sombra? Yeah, why not? Again, Hawk gets nanoed, jumps straight to the backline, kills Krillin, and now the Justice are free to use their beats. But is it enough to Kalios to set up? No, because Hawk is still doing too much. Kills Kalios, self-destructs, gets remake. Decay, Assassin, and Opener alive on the point with 20 seconds to go. The Justice need to find a course of action, but they're struggling to do so. At least they got a EMP lining up, but that's about it.
Oh, they're going to have to get there first. It looks like Assassin will be able to go through the tunnels to get the touch. Hawk's going to try his best to body block Kalios from getting there, but should trigger overtime.
Yeah, it does trigger OT, but Kalios is getting focused. Speedy is pretty low, but the pocketing from Ultraviolet Vigilante, too great for the Justice to take him down. Even Vigilante sitting on a Transcendence. Must know Assassin's so close to that EMP, 3% away. That's going to be their ticket to this first point. But the Justice, they got to do something about the backline. Krillin and Opener already dead. The EMP hits, but the Transcendence was already forced.
Oh, they didn't touch!
And they see 9. Oh boy.
What?
Alrighty. Anyway.
Well, good on Kalios. Okay, I'm gonna give props to Kalios for that one, because he touched the payload. He knew the objective was to just push the cart over the line, get the doors open. He just bought really valuable time for his team.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that happens sometimes. And look how far, I love how Rain are playing though, Rose. Quite shad of them. Good stick by Venom. Can't eat that one. A little bit too late on the reactions there. Kalios, as he was trying to 180. He's also trying to protect Opener, who suffers from a similar fate at the hands of the Tracer. Little spawn camp time for the Atlanta Reign now.
Well, yeah, there's not really any other avenues to get out of spawn except to have to deal with these tunnels by Big Earls. And so, in a rain, they're just gonna block at the door. Venom is just diving into Ana territory.
Okay, yeah,
well,
tried to get back to his team, but... I mean, you trade as a Tracer, right? They're going to copy in the spawn. They're touching the spawn doors. They're forcing Kalios to use self-destruct in the spawn to get a remake. Speedly almost gets a remake kill. Eventually, another remake kill? Another remake? So more remakes? That's a lot of damage on Kalios. The spawn, luckily though, grants almost infinite HP, so he's good to get out of the spawn door. 45 seconds to go in this this circus on point A. Yes, we're still on point A, even though the point has been capped, is coming to an end soon, I can imagine. Vigilante does end up getting nanoed and goes for an aggressive flank. Rain playing with their food, but Justice now biting at that. A good sleep on Decay. Is that going to result in much? That defense mate's going to run out soon. Luckily enough, doesn't run out in time before Decay gets up from his nap time. Okay, 20 seconds. They've eventually gotten it through those doors. They'll close behind them and hopefully close that chapter of chaos.
Have you ever seen the payload?
I have never seen something more ridiculous.
Like, it opened the door and then it started moving backwards. I didn't think you could make negative progress after capturing the first point. But it rolled backwards. Okay, Assassin,
All
please.
good.
Hit the CMP,
OT.
please.
And Venom has a pulse. Decay's been nanoed, but a lot of his shots actually just got eaten up by Hawk there. Can Venom find a pulse? Already hit that recall, but sees his mark, throws it out. Another unreal stick from Venom. How are the Tracers today hitting these long-range pulse bombs? It's an art form, truly. EMP from Assassin, it's pretty good. It does end up hitting 3, but they don't touch. Oh, dearie me. I mean, Kalios was out of mech and they were under a lot of pressure, but yeah, this is turning into quite the affair. Quite a game of Overwatch we are seeing.
This is the great.
But that's fine.
This is the most Overwatch game of Overwatch I have ever seen.
It's true. True and real.
Yeah, see you guys on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, been in the league 3 years now, and yeah, this is very Overwatch. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
What a weird day. Would you have ever guessed that Glads versus New York would go to a map 5, and then we'd get like a clown fiesta of a second point of Route 66?
You say second.
I don't even know if it
first
counts as second
because
point.
they were still on first, but the point capped. Yeah. Oh, here's the C9. Okay, so what happened? Vigilante ends up getting booped away, use the Transcendence, and they don't go back to touch. Yeah, that kind of sucks too, because Vigilante, you do have a speed boost, like a small speed boost when you are in Transcendence.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. You'd expect Vigilante to kind of touch there, but it didn't end up happening.
Hey, listen,
Justice
Kalios, good on you. Good on you,
I
Kalios.
mean, honestly, yeah. Kalios kind of stood there menacingly, looking at them directly in the eyes, and they feared.
Yeah, just like a stone gargoyle.
Yeah.
Come at me if you dare. That was good. That is actually a very, very good point. That's not shade. You should touch the payload, and you should focus on the objective. So, maybe Rain can do that on their attack push. I don't know. Same old, same old. It's the Sombra Tracer Diva for Justice. Kalios is slept. Kalios is out of mech. Kalios is dead.
Yeah. That is what happened. It do be like that. It's a good push so far from the Atlanta Reign. Yeah, I mean, pushing this far up is super nice. Just take, as long as you have the high ground with the, obviously high ground equal good, right? But if you have it with the Echo, it's so punishing for Justice to move out of these choke points, because those sticky bombs do a ton of damage. And then Hawk can kind of sit on the high ground too. They do end up getting pushed off, as the Discord Orb was just too much damage for Hawk's mech. And the Justice are able to kind of regain control of the point for the time being.
I mean, this is a good position to be in. They need to capitalize on Hawk not having his mech, but he does get back into it.
He does. Decay throws out the pulse to try and demech Hawk again, but it is a full HP Diva against that pulse bomb, and he's had a lot of that support, so he should be good. There's a nano onto Hawk and Krillin. An E from Kalios stops Opener from going down, as Vigilante also gets killed. Good defense of the Justice so far, but they need to protect their one and only support, Krillin, in the front line. No Matrix left for Kalios, and yeah, even gets demeched. Because Atlanta Reign taking this point, unless Justice managed to get back on in time. But there's only Decay there on first. Atlanta Reign now 4 minutes and 40 seconds to move through the second point.
Oh, that was such a sick sleep from Opener, too. To deny Hawk from getting the rush down onto him at first. And unfortunately, yeah, the defense falls apart a little bit here for the Justice, but they still have some legs to stand on, one of which is going to be Assassin's EMP. I know the first few of this series have not been fantastic in terms of the follow-up, but they've been big. They've been a couple of key members. You just need to be able to capitalize on that. So let's see if Assassin can get the right targets this time. There's both backlines support.
That was close. That was close. Yeah, take that. Assassin almost got slept out of EMP. Ultraviolet ends up finishing that kill. Don't need overtime, I don't think. 4 minutes to go in the Atlanta Reign, and nearing that red box and victory. A copy for Speedly. Double Diva on the field. Oh, I want some more remech kills, honestly, but it doesn't look like Speedly's going to get it unless something crazy happens. Does manage to remech. Almost got that self-destruct, has it? Ends up getting nanoed, I think, too. But you know, okay, gets 2 kills. Sure. Why not? Speedly double kill with a copy. Self-destruct. Kills Krillin. That should be it. Atlanta Reign win the series, 3-0. Speedly got nanoed as baby, or the nano onto the mech that was self-destructing. Doesn't do more damage, but looks cool. The Atlanta Reign with a swift 3-0 in this series. Not the closest of affairs. The Justice not looking like their old selves. I mean, they beat the Shock recently. They beat New York recently, and New York have been looking pretty decent over the last couple of days. Like, yeah, just a little bit absent from this game. That's quite shocking. I thought this would go a little bit further than it did. But, you know, the Reign, we're nearing this playoff scenario, and they've definitely come online.
Yeah, you know that they're hungry about playoffs. Like, they didn't make it to Summer Showdown, so this is really where they get to step it up and reprove themselves that they are one of the best teams in the league. And so they do need every win that they can get, and this was a clean one today.
Yeah, pretty damn clean from the Atlanta Reign. And I was almost hoping slightly there that both teams would be on 11-11 after today. That would require Justice to win. But yeah, no, Atlanta Reign now 12-10, and the Justice sitting at 10-12. So the playoffs, there's a couple of slots obviously left open there. However, you know, you're still vying, you're still vying for those spots, because play-ins, especially in the mid-table right now, which you have Justice, Reign, and the Toronto Define, you're still kind of vying this a little bit of a rumble happening, a Royal Rumble, if you will. I think with how the Atlanta Reign are playing, if they just kind of carry on this kind of dominance and what the Des were talking about, and Speedly being consistent throughout the entire series, which what we've seen right now, they're going to be in with a pretty damn good shot just snagging one of those playoff spots.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're looking good for it, and they do have a couple more matches coming up over the next 2 weeks to solidify their position. So we'll see how it goes. But there was one player that was super effective this match, and that is, of course, going to be our player of the match, Venom.
Yeah, Venom, Tracer, a little bit lackluster with all the first bloods onto him yesterday, but made up for it in this series by a long shot. Like, his pulse bombs looking rather clean, and what we expect Venom to do. He came in as this big Tracer player that everybody was kind of expecting him to permanently play, and when you have a meta where you get to play your Tracer player, and it being at the caliber of Venom, you're feeling pretty happy with yourselves. Atlanta Reign's hero pool with the DPS is quite large, but having more of this kind of specialist player in Venom is going to work wonders for them. I'm curious how the meta does end up shifting into playoffs. We'll see where Venom kind of lies there, if he is going to continue to play, but stats are looking pretty good, Venom. I'm not going to lie to you. 12 final blows per 10, 8k damage per 10 this match, and very few deaths.
3.1 deaths per 10? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Feels
I mean,
good.
You expect that Tracer, of course, will have like maybe an average of 5 per 10, just how survivable the character is by itself, but Venom got so much done every single map without taking too many L's. And yeah, that's insane. It has so much damage. Leading the server in final blows also, just total, across like the series.
Yeah, we got an interview with Venom after the break, so yeah, we're going to jump right to that, and we'll see you in a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Game Break, everybody. I'm here joined now by Venom from Atlanta Reign. Venom, congratulations on the win. Now, this was a 3-0 victory for the Atlanta Reign. I just want to ask you, did you expect this match against the Washington Justice to be such a one-sided affair? 자, 오늘 승리를 축하드리면서 일단 첫 번째 질문. 어떻게 보면 3대0으로 굉장히 빠른 시간 안에 승리를 거두시게 되셨는데요. 베놈 선수가 보셨을 때도 오늘 경기가 이렇게 좀 빠르게 진행이 되고 좀 어떻게 보면 좀 더 쉽게 승리를 거두실 거라고 좀 예상을 하셨나요?
저희만 이제 하던 대로 잘 할 수 있다면은 쉽게 이길 수 있다고 생각했고요. 제가 최근에 이제 뉴욕 경기전 이후로 손목이 아팠어가지고 제대로 스크림도 뛰지 못하고 이렇게 대회 하는 게 너무 조금 오늘도 그렇고 이제 힘들었던 것 같아요. 그거 빼고는 네 저희 팀이 워낙 잘해줄 거 알고 있어서.
Alright, so I mean, definitely going into today's match, I knew that if we played how we always played, I knew that it was going to be an easy win for us. Other than that, for me personally, after our New York Excelsior match, my wrist started to hurt a little bit, so I couldn't get a lot of scrim time. I couldn't get a lot of practice time, so it was a little bit more difficult. But other than that, I think I knew that all of our teammates were good, and we were actually sort of very good at this meta as well. So I think I sort of expected this win against the Washington Justice. Is your wrist right now, Venom, getting better, or are you still sort of struggling? 방금 이제 손목 부상이 살짝 있다고 말씀하셨는데 지금 좀 괜찮으신 건가요? 아니면 아직도 지금 회복 중이신 건가요?
이제 조금 이제 게임 할 수 있을 정도로 괜찮아졌어요. 아직은 통증은 조금 있고.
Okay. I do still feel a slight bit of pain, but I mean it's not something that's major because I could still play the game, so I'm getting a lot better. All right, Venom. I mean, hopefully I'm praying that your wrist gets better, but I think it's even more surprising that even with the wrist injury, you got the player of the match and you were phenomenal on that tracer against Washington Justice today. And along with you, I think you have a new DPS partner, Speedly. So I want to ask you about that. How is it like playing with Speedly in these matches? 자, 두 번째 질문은 일단 질문에 들어가기 전에 베놈 선수 빠른 쾌유 바라면서 이제 요즘 들어서 이제 스피들리 선수와 이렇게 딜러 듀오를 이렇게 이루고 경기를 이제 치르시고 있는데 좀 이제 스피들리 선수와 이렇게 경기하는 게 좀 어떠신가요?
되게 좋은 것 같아요. 처음부터 이제 스피들리 선수가 되게 똑똑하고 이제 잘하는 선수라서 처음부터 되게 잘 맞았고요, 저랑. 이제 앞으로도 이제 뭐 딜러 차이에 대한 걱정은 전혀 안 할 것 같아요.
Alright. Definitely, it's been really good. I mean, Speedly is a very smart and a very mechanically talented player. So from the beginning, we had no problems. And I think for us right now, for the Atlanta Reign, for as for the DPS sort of situation, I don't think we have any problems going forward as well. All right, Venom, thank you so much for your time, and again, big congratulations on the win. 자, 오늘 인터뷰 감사드리면서 여기서 마치도록 하겠습니다. 베놈 선수 감사합니다. Thank you.
감사합니다.
What a game! Look, of all the games today I thought would be so one-sided, this wasn't it. We did ask of the Atlanta Reign to see their DPS line especially stand up. But someone to me who's just astonishing again and again is Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
3 deaths for the entire series.
3?
3 deaths.
3 deaths.
And now Diva players usually...
Not a map, just...
The whole series.
Okay,
now, Diva players normally die less, right? Obviously, because you get demacked and a lot of the time they leave you or whatever. But that is still astonishing. And in fact, Venom has less than 10 over the course of the series. So does Ultraviolet. So that might say more about the Justice's ability to put them under pressure.
I was not going to say it. You did.
We have to go there because this was honestly, it looked like a really clean showing from Atlanta in this series.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to Hawk specifically, I think he definitely has a case when it comes to being voted, for example, like Roll Star and stuff like that, right? The problem is that we have players like Hanbin and Smurf, leading the pack in that regard. And if we're only going to have 2 Roll Star, roles this time around because we cut 1 tank short, it's going to be very tough for Hawk to win that. But he's definitely in that conversation because he is so prolific when it comes to the Diva play. By the way, remember when we had those power rankings on roles, stuff like that? I mean, Hawk was he was a top 5 tank in the league back then, right? So historically, Hawk is a fantastic diva. This year, he's done an incredible job of stepping into the single tank role, sometimes flexing over to the Winston when have to, not this series, but like in the past on Dorado, for example, right? So I think Hawk is a sensationally good player, and we give him his credit is due. I gotta cash in my little clout here. I'm on cloud 9 with Venom popping off this series, right? I said in the pre-show, right?
That's right.
The talent was right there, and he popped off. He turned up in a big way, all right? There's nothing that says 8th or 9th in rankings when it comes to this performance right here. He was off the goop. He was performing like crazy, just beating down the Washington Justice. Decay didn't stand a chance, right? The Atlanta Reign with a really impressive performance here. This is really good for them moving into, competing, vying for that playoff spot that we talk about all the time. But also the Washington Justice, I gotta say, brutal loss for them. This is not the way you want it to go down against the Atlanta Reign, but they're still pretty much clearly in the play-ins, right? And this is not the match you have to win. Learn from this loss. Take something with you moving forward. It's not over for them yet.
Yeah, it's pretty guaranteed that this team is, solidly locked into those play-ins. Falling out of there at this point is pretty unlikely. But we need to see a lot more from them, right? Because we talked, like when we saw this Justice team get those wins so far earlier. If you think earlier on in this tournament, we're like, this is a great time for this team, right? The role assignments look like they work really well for them. Kalios was always a question mark, but it looks like he was finding some niche heroes to get value out of. But Danny, the Justice looks like they're not quite where they need to be right now.
It is true. I mean, like you said, we have Decay on Tracer, Assassin on Sombra. It should be the meta for them, but it's just, I feel like they're always just falling short. And even for today, I expected this to be a lot closer, but Atlanta Reign just seems unstoppable right now. Like, the Diva, Hawk's Diva is honestly, I would say that he's my favorite Diva. And their DPS lineup's looking good. Their support line is looking good. I think Atlanta Reign in the Countdown Cup is going to go far.
Can I add something else as well before we move on to the next match here? It's something that we haven't really discussed at all, and something that we sometimes don't want to admit to ourselves. But Washington Justice, this is a franchise that made a lot of roster moves, throughout the year, and we don't really know what their plans is, moving forward towards next year, etc. So in many ways, some of these players, right, they're pretty much secured for the play-ins. But they're playing for like their Overwatch League future as well, right? Like who knows what's going to happen to this franchise next year and what their directions are, right? And I like some of these guys, I like Decay. When Decay is at his best, he's so much fun to watch. He's a sensational player. Same goes for Assassin. When he played Genji earlier this year, like you can see the potential that this guy has, right? College as well. So there are many talented players on the Washington Justice roster, and I think they're feeling the pressure a little bit. They gotta step up here and secure their future.
Well, we need to be honest about it because this is a team that made huge moves in the off season to position themselves to be like a championship front runner team.
Absolutely.
You're running out of excuses now if you're like Decay on this team and saying like, okay, well, is this like my third Overwatch League team? I haven't been able to really take it to the top level. At what point is that going to happen for me now? There have been many players in the past that have seen their peaks and then their fall from sort of being at the top without getting a championship. I think a lot of us hope to see that for Decay, but it's looking like it's going to be hard on this team, especially with how stiff the competition's going to be. So it's a storyline worth running with. We know that the Justice in the past have made ridiculous runbacks during playoff phases. They're going to have to do it again, and they're not going to be able to rely on Junkrat, Roadhog. Actually, I'm not going to say that because if I say they can't rely on Roadhog being busted, I might be jinxing it. Because I hear whispers. I hear whispers through the grapevine. You know what I mean? So we'll see if that's the case. But that team obviously needs to really come alive in a big way coming into those play-ins. Let's move on to our next matchup, though. Again, one team who, again, we're a little bit uncertain on. The other we know for a fact the Vancouver Titans won't be competing in the play-ins. But there's a rivalry here as well. Toronto, Vancouver, I don't need to spell it out for you. We do want to see from Toronto a continual leveling up because this is another team that needs to be peaking as they head into these play-ins, Johnny.
Absolutely. I mean, they're still competing for that playoff spot, right? They're not secured by any means at all. This is a must-win in many ways for the Toronto Defiant. And I'm not going to act like the Vancouver Titans, it's been all, fun for them as of recent either. They got 3 wins, in the last stage, and they looked pretty good back then, but this is a new meta for the Vancouver Titans. They're not the same team as before, but it doesn't reduce the fact that this is a must-win for Toronto Defiant. They need to win this matchup to compete for that 6th and final playoff spot with the likes of Atlanta Reign, who are looking fantastic right now, right? So this is going to be a really crucial matchup for Toronto.
Crucial, and I think it is very likely that Toronto is going to win because they beat the San Francisco Shock and they're probably feeling pretty good right now. So they definitely need to beat the Vancouver
I'm
Titans
not
to go-
taking anything for granted. I'm not taking anything
what?
good.
The Shock are
Yeah.
really hard to track, right? Because I think the Atlanta Reign losing to them actually doesn't speak badly of Atlanta, because Shock looked like they were back. They basically had been back to pretty close to full strength even in that very close series. Chorong's End, something I'm looking out for. Hopper on the Zarya, and with a finale can keep delivering these really impressive performances. He's the kind of player that can get on that Sombra and change the game for his team. So those three players I'm definitely looking at here on the side of the Toronto Defiant. Yeah, all eyes are on them. The ball's in their court when it comes to their positioning going into play-in. So that's something worth keeping in mind. I'm curious though. We had this segment earlier. I want to ask our casters. We're going to head over to our casters in just a moment with Jack and Rose. I have a question for Rose. What player on the Vancouver Titans most embodies the principle of the talent is there?
that's an easy
The talent is there. I'm surprised you still want to ask this, just given how.
No, I'm only
off the
asking it
group
because
that
I know I can put you on the
segment went.
spot.
Okay, yeah, I think that for one of the players on Vancouver Titans, I would say Skyrippa is one of those players that the talent is there. Skyrippa is a player that I followed throughout European
That's
contenders.
a surprise
He started
pick.
off as
I
a
like
Mercy
it. Yeah,
1
European
trick.
players, let's go.
He's good. He's really good with just how he's been able to adapt to learn how to play Batiste at a high level. Ana, he's in the Overwatch League now, and so I just think that, Titans need a little bit more space to be able to operate with some of these backline performers.
Wow. I didn't expect that answer.
No, I did not.
I did not expect that
I
answer.
should have, if I wanted
That's a good
a
pick.
funnier answer, I should have asked Jack. Yeah.
Wow.
That was actually
Yeah.
really, well
that was
done.
good.
All right, nice job. Jack,
Thank you.
I'm curious who you're looking out for, because there's a few
I'm
players
cracking up,
on
I
either
don't know
side here, and some matchups we're getting excited about. So, Jack, what are you looking out for here, buddy?
Yeah. Don't know. It's going to be Overwatch, isn't it?
Jack,
Come on, Jack.
first question.
Give us an answer. Come on now.
Right.
Yes. What's the story? What's the story, Jack? Come on. What's happening?
The one time I'm like, treat him like a fellow professional, and he does this to me.
Treat him like a fellow professional.
like that.
Well, how
I'm
gracious
like
of you,
dub right now,
finally.
bro.
Mistake, Mitch.
Oh, dude, it's only taken you how
ban
many
that.
years? Christ alive, bro. Look, my
And never
boy
again.
Hopper's
Never
in.
again.
It
Never
doesn't
again.
matter. Never again. All right, see you
Oh
in
my
ranked,
God.
buddy,
You did,
while I'm
Jack.
sniping you in the queues, bro. I'll dip to your level, it's no problem.
Sniping diamond players.
Captain Planet, please
Must
don't
be
ban
proud.
me. Thank you. Please don't ban me.
No, these segments are getting weirder and weirder. I
that-
don't know. Maybe the day is long and we are all tired. Not sure. We've had a lot of Overwatch today.
It's been a weird day too, hasn't it? Off the back of a 5-mapper between Flats and New York. I don't know what happened in the match previous to this one, but Jack, it's the Clash of Canada, the Canada Clash.
Woo!
The
Yeah, it's exciting.
let's go.
I'm looking forward to this. Like, Vancouver Titans don't really have a lot to lose here. They're not going to go to the play-ins or the playoffs, so they're playing for a lot of pride here. Pride for Canada, but also thinking to next season, I think, is what's on the players' minds right now. Couldn't tell you, not telepathic, but if I could imagine. Ideally, you want the best performances possible right now, because going into a new season, obviously not necessarily a new game, or obviously they've been playing Overwatch 2 for quite a while now, is quite important. I think Aspire is going to have very good prospects. Even King came in quite late to the Vancouver Titans. It's had some really good performances on the things like Genji. So
Yep.
I'm looking for the Vancouver Titans to stand out individually, try and conquer the Toronto Defiant right now. Although Toronto, they do have the Heese, and they do have Finale on Tracer, and they do have my man Hopper. So, and Chorong. There's a lot of
And
talent on
Twilight.
this roster. And Twilight, exactly, yeah. I
They
mean,
just
no one
listed
can really
all
forget
of
Twilight,
the
right?
Toronto roster. No, you're absolutely right.
one
And
forgets
it's not just pride here for Toronto Defiant either. Pretty sure they're still in contention to make a playoff spot. They're right in 7th seed. They're right at the cusp. It's Atlanta Reign that did just get a win over Washington Justice, gatekeeping them right now. And so to match that record of 12-10, Toronto Defiant need a win here to stay a part of the conversation, or just solidify themselves as a play-in team. But they just want to make it to playoffs. And Jack, they had a rough first few matches. Those map 5ers were devastating after coming off of such a hot performance at their own LAN.
Yeah, that was a heck of a run. at their land. It was super exciting. Obviously, the crowd just fully behind Toronto. It was honestly quite a pleasure casting in front of a home crowd and making it all the way to the final day too. Felt super good, and that was it felt like a turning point almost for Toronto to fight. Like, yeah, they are quite literally like in the middle of the pack right now. They are 11-10. The Vancouver Titans 3-18. So you're expecting Toronto Defiant to just continue that run, maybe hit it with a 12-10, sorry, after today, matching the Atlanta Reign. But on the other side of things, Vancouver Titans, like I've already said, they can't make it to play-ins mathematically or the playoffs. So they're playing for a lot of pride here and just for themselves. You know, you want to prove to everybody still that you have good prospects going into next year. I will be surprised if we don't see a lot of these players playing in 2023. Which is almost also an insane number to say. 2023? Dude, has anybody recovered from like 2019 or 2020 yet?
No,
like, we're heading into 2023.
What are those years?
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Where
And it's
did
been
those go?
a wild journey. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, Aspire and King, they've already shown up huge for the Vancouver Titans. Instrumental in their wins that they got.
I mean, this is such a young roster as well. You have half rookie talent, half talent that are in their second, third, fourth year. Masa is definitely the veteran on this roster, and you can see how much he's able to support the back line. But I think that where, you know, we keep saying the talent is there, is that there's something that a lot of other teams are making it difficult for Titans to follow through with their game plan. I think when I focus in on Skyrippa, for example, it's because he's getting focused all the time from Sombras in this stage, and he's dying very frequently, very early on, and makes it seem like he's not able to show off his best. But you know it's still a team effort as well, and you could say that individually for a lot of the players in the Titans. I mean, Jack, this roster did go undefeated for a short while this season.
Yeah.
3 matches is crazy.
Yeah, which is... It sounds ridiculous, right? It's like, that's crazy, like 3 matches in a row, but remember this team was winless at one point, and they had just such a good streak of victories. And that was after Deepe joined the roster as the coach, so... You're kind of again expecting or hoping the Vancouver Titans show up today against the Toronto Defiant, maybe go to a map 5 or at least take a single map off Toronto. But Toronto kind of hit their stride. Hopper's on off-tank characters that he kind of wants to play, you know, this Diva or the Zarya, and Hisu and Finale also being in. A very good, like an extremely strong all-rounder in Hisu. Finale has been exceptional on the Tracer. We'll see how they're wanting to run this. Of course, we are seeing Vancouver Titans, like they've always kind of been, just playing their own thing. Mira is on Junker Queen of all picks. It was either going to be Arisha or JQ, and it is JQ.
I like this look from the Titans, though, because they should be just playing things that they feel they are good at. And a lot of the meta that we've seen so far, and what I love about how healthy it is that it does allow for this type of flexibility. You know, so seeing the Junker Queen in tandem with King's Mei, you can use those Mei walls, you can make sure that you're rushing down a target that you've isolated with that cooldown, or just knifing people. Maybe this allows Mirror to stay alive like Punk was playing the Junker Queen earlier on this stage.
What a wall. Yeah, you can't defense matrix that axe. Skyripper does end up falling. Not good for Vancouver Titans, although they are on the point capping currently. There's Aspire with a double kill. No tank for the Titans now. That disruptor shot still doing a lot of work. The wall from King, and then Aspire just kind of shooting people and laying down that disruptor shot is doing an immense amount of damage. It's a 2v1 on the point. Aspire doesn't stand a chance though against Twilight, who picked up his own double kill. And they didn't even get a cap, unfortunately.
No, oh, that's so disappointing. I mean, at least they send Hoppa for a reset, and with Masa on the Lucio, Titans can definitely rush back into this one, and Defiant are going to have to pay respect to that. You don't want a Junker Queen rushing you down. You don't want that bleed. So you will see Defiant back up here as long as they wait for Hoppa to come back.
Now the boost onto Hoppa. He's got the supports in his sight. Lamp goes down, 1 support dead. Hopper Doobie kind of swinging his mouse around though. Alrighty. Oh, there's the fight. I'm curious what Hopper was kind of doing there. Like, he was kind of swinging his mouse a little bit. Looks like he was trying to Matrix summon. Not sure what, but yeah, he Matrix.
I just like how Hoppa has done his job, gets demeched, throws himself off of the point, resets, and he's back in time to fight another fight. I think it's just really funny to me for some reason. Oh, he's so self-aware playing D.Va. It's great.
Oh. That was a brave recall there by Finale. EMP hits 3. Sky Ripper on the high ground using that window. Did throw the lamp to the rest of his team, but not quite in time to save it. King. The Vancouver Titans trying to make a play off of this. Oh, no. The Pulse Bomb and the rest of the damage getting flung at them. Like a trebuchet over 300 meters. It's doing a lot of damage.
Imagine if Hoppa just like sends it too with the mech. After everything that we've seen so far today, I wouldn't be surprised to see a D.Va actually use self-destruct as some type of aggressive ultimate. But, you know, Defiant still have to play really smart here. Gonna have to play around King's Pulse Bomb. Oh, Twilight's already down!
Twilight's dead. Oh, a yeet from King. Doesn't quite land the stick, but a Spire. Of course it's a Spire. Kills 3. Jesus. That was that beat used from the Titans to help them win that fight. They do cap with 99 to spare there for the Defiant. Okie dokie. Now the Titans using everything in there. They've only got that Rampage left from the Junker Queen. Let's have a look what happened.
Yeah, that replay is absolutely wild. So the Disruptor shot actually forces...
Good beat.
Oh my gosh, Twilight and Hoppa out of mech to fall to it. And it was the way that the Titans kind of just surrounded Defiant and forced him into that position. But then the overclock too, yeah, Spire just able to shut down all of these avenues. King is dead though.
He tried.
That's not good.
He did try. There's Hopper. He's got the Nano. Aspire or Sky Ripper. Take your pick. It's a buffet for you, Hopper. There's so many people around you. Just all you need to do is just hold down that left click. Mira gets an axe kill with the help of that Rampage, but the Toronto Defiant have hit overtime. Mira's picked up Finale too. Hopper still alive is quite annoying for the Titans, of course. Him getting dislodged could be quite difficult, and this time it is Mira's turn to carry, not Aspire. They do manage to win that fight just off the back of that Rampage. That looks so good for Hopper, Rose. He had 2 people in his sights, and with that nano boost on top of that, looked like an easy play for him. Mira gets pulse bombed and stays alive using that commanding shout. A little bit of a brawl happening, but Hopper eventually gets demeched. Oh, they're still killing.
Oh, they're still going. Hoppa's gonna try to get back into mech too. Gets stuck though. Yeah.
Yeah. Still though, they're in the fight. I mean, with Hisu and Finale being there, even an aggressive EMP, this fight just hasn't ended. The Titans did end up capping. Mira's going to switch over to the Zarya to come back to the point, but they've stalled out for quite an impressive amount of time. 75% for the Vancouver Titans as Toronto find the flip. Hopper is back on the field, and it's up to Mira now to try and demech Hopper. He is pretty low. He does end up finding that demech in the end, and the beat from Master might be good enough to end this fight. Finale still alive and well, doing damage, but forced to recall. A lot less support now for the Toronto Defiant to try and stay alive.
Oh, look at that too. King's gonna have to be careful. There doesn't really seem like there's a lot of focus fire, but if Mira is able to get a little bit more charge and beam somebody down, that could be big. Oh, Coalescence too.
Yeah, buffet back open, but Sky Ripper's taken a large plate for himself.
Huh?
A double kill pot. Oh no, the remake. What was that? Oh my god. The Vancouver Titans, they try and push out and try and punish Defiant, using that Coalescence, right? But Hopper finds a double kill and then a remake kill at the very end. Very nice stuff.
God. What is with these divas today? Okay, I don't know. Can we even count Speedily as a diva? Because it was an echo copy? I don't know. Jeez. Divas do
sure.
wild
Today. Oh, here you go. Okay, so...
Okay.
Boom. Oh, the boop from Choron was kind of large. Yeah, I'm not sure they would be able to escape, but the boop definitely secured it. That was super nice too. I like the play from the Titans, to be fair. Like I said, it was a bit of a buffet there for Sky Ripper as he used that Coalescence in front of all of the Defiant, right? You want to capitalize on that, but yeah, Hopper on the Diva once again comes up rather large. Now, we go, next round is upon us, and I like Mira's change to the Zarya much more, what seems to be the meta now, Rose.
Yeah, I mean, Mirror's shown off this look before. For the most part, it's really been Orisa and Doomfist, though. So to see Mirror go on to a few of the, I guess, more meta heroes that False was able to bring out last week, that was really cool.
How did King survive? 2 HP. Had deflect up. Anything would have killed him at that point. Titans, yeah, without the Jungle Queen, they're looking a lot better just off that initial fight on the Zarya.
Well, Zarya too, like, what does Hoppa do against that? The defense matrix is so good to be able to pick off any of the damage that would be coming in from a projectile. Like, I think it can stop Gracie? I'm not entirely sure about that one, but you definitely can't defense matrix a Zarya beam. Aspire too, already with a pulse bomb, so Finale and Aspire are going to be dueling in the backlines.
A couple of pulse bombs, see what Tracers can do. Finale is getting half checked. Nice bubble, bubbles run out just in time. Nice reactions from Mira, but Finale was just waiting for that one. Chorong and Finale on a flank currently. Yeah, Chorong not with his team. That's a true Chad Zen player right there on the flank with your Tracer. 51% for the Vancouver Titans. Not bad at all. They got Nanoblade and that Graviton Surge up.
That'll be fun to watch because, you know, does Hoppa eat the Grav? That is something you can eat from the Zarya. We've seen some really impressive pulse bomb mitigations here for the Divas, but not too many Grav eats. So maybe Mirror can land this one and just, I don't know, smack people in the face. There's not a whole lot else to pair with it right now.
Nice sleep. Could be a free grab if they want to use it fast, but no, look at Toronto Defiant's position. They back all the way up, knowing Hop was there not to get the attempted eat. Nanoblade into the back. He gets naded, but that Transcendence is good. He does get slept too. Oh, Twilight does not miss those. He tried to dash back to their health pack too, but Hisu's there with the finish. Mirror's Graviton Surge was mildly effective, but it's actually the finishing kills here is what they require. Pulse Bomb on the floor from Finale. Sky Ripper trying to escape from the rest of his team, runs straight into it. The Vancouver Titans still with numbers on the point, and having Mirror on here too with high charge means Hopper is toast. The Defiant may have owned that point, but the Vancouver Titans end up finding the flip.
So much chaos happening in that fight too. I mean, it's just kind of bonkers to me that Mirror used the Grav. There was so much going on that I think it only got a single target, but he also has 60% towards another one. That's just wild. Like, that's so much damage, and Masa and Skyripper just being able to keep him alive.